Okay.
So this is what I use the lettering.
Ooh.
I did both block and then I did the script. This is actually, and then I actually wanted more Zentangle, but it really muddied it. So I just kept it simple with zeros and lines and dots. But this is a check that I made out, oversized for a donation to the Good Samaritan Fund from the honey sales. But I wanted to show you another way you could use lettering for cards. Okay, thank you.
I like your bees.
Yeah.
Came
Of
from Pam.
course.
They came from Pam.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They're cute.
Back to you, Peg. Thank you.
No problem. We bought new glasses at, I never should go into Home Goods because it's always a dangerous place. But they had spring flowers and stuff, and they had two little bees on either side. We got them just for you.
So
In
they
your
came
honor.
home with you, huh?
Something, yeah. Good morning, everybody.
Good
Good
morning.
Morning.
We'll just let everybody come on in. So I decided I would start off by making a slight confession in that after spending last week at my brother's, I'm quite clear that I am exactly how old I am.
Amen. Amen.
It took me a bit of time to get my legs back underneath me. So if I veer off today, you can just chalk it up to, oops, they weren't quite back yet, but they were close. How's that? Sorry. Okay. So let's start off with just some deep breaths. How about that? We'll just do in through the mouth and out through the nose and do 3 and do them at your pace. So we can in through the nose. Sorry, I said it the wrong way. I did backwards, didn't I? In through the nose, out through the mouth. You caught me, Joanne. I'd like to just use stillness today, just some time to pause. Just kind of let your mind drift. I've been working personally on trying to stay present. It's kind of one of my things I work on. And I am very aware that I can do that much better when I think about the things for which I am grateful. So maybe we can just, as you kind of move your head around and your shoulders, just think about your own sense of gratitude. I'm just grateful I'm able to do this. For as long as I'm able. How about that?
Amen.
All right. Are you doing okay in looseness, y'all?
Mm-hmm.
Do you need to do a little shoulder wiggle?
Done.
All right. I want to do a couple things today. I'm gonna show you a couple of tangles. One we've done a very long time ago when Hillary was with us. It's quite simple and straightforward, but I want to use it as an example. Okay, so we're going to we're gonna do the Tangle Phi Cops. Okay, and I'll have it written down for you. I'll give you the name of the person who created the tangle, all that good stuff. It's relatively simple and straightforward, but it is one of the most brilliant examples I've ever seen of this, the core of Zentangle, the whole, what do I want to say? The phenomena of the medium. So it'll make more sense when I keep going. So what you need to start with is some scrap paper or a book if you use, what am I trying to say? What kind of book am I trying to say, guys?
Sketch or journal.
Yes, thank you. That you keep, new tangles in, whatever you use, but you're just going to want to do some practice. So, all right, I'm going to share my screen. I'm just going to go for it. I've been doing this tangle for the last several days, and yeah. Anyway, I'm just going to share and quit talking because it's not helping. Let's put it that way. Okay. Let me get this out of the way. Can you see that okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Is it better without the light or with the light?
Got the light right there.
Okay.
Good.
Well, the light's better for me because I can see what I'm doing. But if you can't see at some point, let me know. Because every time the sun moves, it changes what this looks like. So bear with me. Okay, Phi Cops. That's the name of the tangle. And it's an old one, okay? It was designed in 2013. So that's the key to this for me, is that it's been around for 13 years.
Isn't that a bit?
Okay, so what that has meant is that it has all of the things we typically do in Zentangle to new tangles has been done to this tangle. Okay. So, I mean, if you think about it, we never just let a tangle be the way it is originally, right? We screw with it, we move it around, we make different shapes, we turn it on its head, we try it in a different way. It's what we do. It's kind of Zentangle. It's the nature of the people who engage in this meditative art form, as well as the art form itself. Now, I have been looking at more videos of Phi Cops than I ever thought I would. And because it's been around so long and has evolved over time, if you go out there and look, you're going to see it done a number of different ways. All right. I'm going to take you through some of that because then we're going to go to a new tangle that's kind of a modification of Phi Cops that I think you're going to love. Okay. Phi Cops was created by this guy, B. Rad Harms, okay? Who is B-Rad. No, over the years, he's become Brad, which I'm sure is not his intention. But you know how history has a tendency to recreate reality? Laura Harms, this is her husband, B. Rad Harms, and he's the one who created the tangle Phi Cops. All right, so I'm going to walk you through the original tangle, at least as close as I can get. And then we're going to talk about what's happened to it over the years. So when you draw, let me get my pencil. I put it in my bag and now I have to get it back out. All right. When you start with Phi Cops, you start with this shape in pencil. Kind of like that. I don't know what to call that shape, so I'll just have to draw it and you'll have to just look at it, I guess.
Like a head.
Okay, there you go. And at the base of that, you're going to put a little pencil again. You're going to put like a little squiggle line. Now, B-Rad puts it in ink. I don't think that's helpful. So it's like this. so that you come down, up, and down, so that you leave yourself a little hump. And it's the little hump from which you go to draw your lines. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So all this is to give you a aiming points. All right, that's what you're going for here. All right, now you can see that I made notes to myself. So the first time I do FICOPS, I'm going to do it the way most people that I have seen in videos do it. And they start from this hump, right? And then they're going to draw lines up. Now there's a couple things to remember when you do this. Your lines up are curving to the right. So let me just do it for you first, and then you'll see what I mean. So I'm starting on my hump, and then I'm coming up, but I'm going to curve to the right. Kind of caught my sleeve on the book there for a minute. I'm going to come to that same little hump point, and I'm going to curve to the right. So I'm doing this kind of motion. So you come up straight to start with, right? And then you kind of curve. You come up and you curve. And I don't care how many lines you do. You do how many you think you need based on your head shape, how big it is, how long it is, what size it is, just so that it feels like there's a relatively full group of lines pretty close to evenly spaced. Not perfect, right? You can tell, not perfect. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Susan Michelson, I always love you because you always answer. Thank you. Okay. The next line you're going to draw is you're going to go to the top of the second line, right? Because they drew this one and then this one. And I'm going to bring a line down, and I'm going to go by about a third of the way down that first line. Do you see what I'm doing? So I'm going to start at the top, and then I'm going to come down about a third of the way. That's a little less, but you get my drift. Then I'm going to come down about a third. And then I'm going to come down about a third. Now you see my angle's changing because it has to, right? Mm-hmm. Turn your tile or your book or your paper. So that now you look like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to go to the end of that first line, and you're just going to make a curve onto the line you drew. I'll show you. So I come to this and I make a curve. I come here and I make a curve, right? I come here and I make a curve. See, just like I've done up here. Come here and I make a curve. Come here and I make a curve, etc. Pretty straightforward, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not tricky. And you can tell when you shade this lovely thing. Now, I have so many examples that I have to be careful because I did this in so damn many books. Okay, you see? So now you get a three-dimensional effect as you shade each of your little curved lines. I'm going fast, so no, this is not beautiful shading, okay? And then you just shade here because it's kind of an under, right? Still have a little. I've not been happy with the tortillons from Zentangle lately. They're real pointy, but they don't last. They fall over. Sorry, I'm just chatting. Okay, you see the effect I'm talking about?
Yes.
Okay, so now that was starting from the hump, right? And going up. But what I've seen a lot of people do, whoops, I just did it in ink, is they go the other direction. So I started saying, well, now that's an interesting take. I wonder if that would be a good thing to consider. So I want to get these out of the way. So suppose I did it this way. I'm still going for the same, well, that line was bad, but that same curve. Now I happen to find, after much looking, a B-Rad example of this, his step out, and he takes his lines up and he kind of ends up with a little fluffy spot right in the middle. Don't ask me why or whatever. But it's the same effect, okay? And you're going to do the same set of steps, but it's just which direction you're drawing your line from. Same thing. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Okay. Well, Matt, does somebody have a question? I'm sorry.
no, I'm good.
Okay. So this time, I'm going to start from the hump because that's more comfortable for me. Everybody has their deal. You may find one way is easier for you than another. But now I'm going to show you a variation, right? Suppose when I'm bringing my line down, instead of taking it a third, I'm going to take it to a half. Did I just do that wrong? No. I scared myself there. But now what that does is it changes the shape of my curved section.
Mhm.
And it's now big. That's a very bad example, but I think you get the idea, is that you have so many ways that you can change just drawing those simple lines that will change the effect of the tangle itself. That one's kind of ugly in the ugly stage, but I think you get the point I'm trying to make, right?
Yes.
Okay, so here's what started happening. Because Zentanglers are who they are, there's no way they were going to have a tangle called Phycops only in that shape. It's just not happening. So they started doing it in heart shapes. This is not the best in the world. It would have normally come down like this. Then they put it in circles,
I've seen it.
right? Then they used a spiral.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so here they did the same series of lines. Let's see if I can actually do this, guys. That's going to be, I'm really putting it out here because I'm not necessarily the best. But you're talking about the same process, okay? You're coming down to that 1/3 and then doing a loop. And then you're coming down to that 1/3 and then doing that curved line. And then you're coming down to the 1/3 and doing the curved line. And you're just repeating those 2 steps. And suddenly you have this leaf. Whoop. Am I doing that right? Yes. Jeez. And you can make them long. On this side, nice long little leaves with little, or you can make them tiny. You can actually turn it into a weird shape. I could just go like this. And I'm just going to do the same thing. It's just a weirder shape. Now, most people, I will admit, end up in a circle because everybody goes, ooh, that's cool looking, right?
Mm.
So let me find my other ones. I have too many examples. Okay. So most people get into the circle.
Mm.
Okay, this was the original. And all they do is they take those lines in a circle. And I'm going to do one for you. All right. Let me try it here on this guy instead of on a book. Okay. So the circle starts from a center point. Now, one of the things that I've found is that people whose videos I've watched, because I just got into this once I realized that this bloody tangle has been through 9,000 iterations, I started watching videos and everybody does it a little different. But everybody does however many lines they want. However many lines feel right to them. Okay, curved lines. You start at the edge. You come down to the third. So you do all that first. This making you crazy?
No, a little bit.
A little bit? Okay, that's fair. And now I'm just doing that curve down, just like in the original tangle. Right?
Mhm, mhm.
Bicops in a circle. So then I can go, well, heck, let's do more and get them closer. And you just do them until you think you got the right number. So whether you're in a circle, whether you're in the traditional shape, whether you're in a heart, whether you're in a leaf, whether you're in a weird shape, I've seen people do corners
Wow.
where basically you just come out from the corner. That's wrong. One of the things I've learned about this tangle is you got to curve to the right. Curving to the right is the issue because I have done it a number of times In fact, if you look, I can show you. Here I go. Wrong. Curving to the left. Do you see? It changes the whole sense of it. Now, is that right or wrong? Who knows? But it's supposed to curve to the right. Do you see what I'm showing? I'm showing you my mistakes, my screw-ups. So the way the tangle's designed is your lines are curving to the right, and then you're using that curved line in the end to give yourself that tuck in effect. Tuck in is probably not a good word. So do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they do this. They do it on a corner. They do it just in a line, you know, where you're basically doing a, see, watch it, Peggy. Okay, I'm putting myself out here doing this over and over, not very well, but I think you're understanding my point, right?
Yeah.
In that you can turn this basic set of strokes, okay, which is a line curving to the right, series of lines, back, and then a curve. You go back and then a curve. And basically all they've done is to do that same set of lines in different spaces.
Peggy,
Yeah.
would you mind going back to the leaf? Because I can get the left side, but not the right side.
It's
for
a
some-
tricky thing. I get it. Let's see if I can do one. Hold on. Let me grab new paper. Because I think it's hard, Janet. I have trouble also getting both sides. So you're basically doing the same curved line phenomena, but you see you're curving both directions in
Mhm.
this instance,
That's-
which is part of why it's harder. I think. This is just me, okay? So left side you got, right? Because you just come down
yes.
and it seems obvious, okay?
Right.
Right side, you're coming down, okay? And then you're going this way. And you're coming down to that same spot. And then it's that point where you're doing your curved line. Let me try again because I didn't do enough lines. I'll only do it this way and see what happens. So you're going to start on the end and bring it to 1/3.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing here
Mm-hmm.
and here and here. And then you're going to do this curve. I did that backwards. No, I didn't. I bring it here. Yes. And then you're going to do that way. Because what you're doing is taking, whenever you bring
To
whenever you bring a third down, right?
mm-hmm.
The thing you curve is the end of the line that completes that. That didn't come out the way I wanted. You're doing the curve off of the end of the line where you just came in to a third. When you do this, right? You come in a third,
Yes.
right? And then you go to the top of that line and you come down with the curve.
Yes.
You go in a third and it's the top of that line where you come down a third. The hard part here is you're coming from the other direction.
Yes.
So you come up and then you come in the third, okay? You come in the third,
Mhm.
but it's this line that you want to make the curve on, and you're going in a direction that doesn't make sense.
Yes.
Let me see if I can find a better example than my terrible drawing. Come on. Leaf, 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 leaf. Let's see if I can find a good leaf. Okay, so it's kind of like, if you think about this,
Hmm.
Hmm.
Wow.
see?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's the line on this side, the curved line feels like it's coming from the wrong direction. Where's another one here? This one.
Mhm.
So my line
Mhm.
here feels weird because it's coming from the other side.
Mhm.
Does that help a little?
It does.
They're better
Thank
than
you.
me. I decided to use them because they're better than me. Okay, so you get the round, right? And people use however many of these they're so inclined. But here's what you've got. I could do a million different things inside each of these
Yes.
petals, if you will. Right?
Hmm.
And then I could decide to aura inside. So every decision you make when you go for a Phi-Cops in a circle, I think I don't want to go to her yet. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna use another piece of paper. So every time you do a Phi-Cops in a circle, you're really making choices about the shape you want to end up with, right? Like, let's say I want to do that. So now I have a second choice to make. I'm going to come off this end. How far do I want to go down? So depending, see, and then here, and then I go back to my curved line. So now I kind of have a cute different shape, right? So let's say, it'd be really cool if I just take this line and I decide to put that on each one of these. Or I decide I want to do one really long. I think I want to change and I want to get them spikier. Because I kind of like spiky. See what I'm doing? And now this is a whole different thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Totally different effect. Let me show you. See, I can't do all these as well as other people are, so that's why I'm showing rather than, and of course it went away because it can. Okay, for instance, you can do this, right? But you can tell that it's got the curve, but look at how far down it's drawn that they've drawn that second line. You see what I'm,
And their
Mm.
curve is more of an S curve than
Mhm.
just an arc.
here we've got somebody who just said, oh, this is fun. Let's just draw a whole gob bunch.
Cool.
Okay, it's the same tangle, the same line strokes. Here's the one that has all the weird shapes. Sorry.
Mhm.
Okay, but look, but it's the same line strokes, same tangle, just weird. Here's a spiral.
Mhm.
So once you get the curve, the back, the little curve, once you get those line strokes, you can change it any way you want. And the way you draw out your curved lines and the way you choose to draw in your next line. See here, I think this is one of Maria's when this first came out. And you can tell what she did is here, she brought that second line in really tight, but in the middle. Up here, she brought it to that same like 1/3, right? And then here we brought it dark. So she changed the angle of the curve at
Ooh.
every line. She made it
Wow.
all deep here and then small.
Mhm.
It is, to me, it's a simple, here is his basic beginning. Back in 2013. Good old
Maybe.
B-Rad.
Oh, he uses a squiggle.
And he kind of goes up in the center. That's what I was saying is he kind of makes a little space there. He takes them up a little so that he's got a little more, I don't know what to say, intensity
Yeah.
there. But it's, anyway, you got it. Am I getting it? Are you getting?
Yeah. Yeah.
So go ahead and just make some FICOPs. Try some different lengths of lines, different points at which you come down with the next second line, different shapes, different amounts of lines, whether you like a circle, whether you like an odd, bizarre shape, whether you like a leaf. Just play a little, a bunch of them. And then we're going to make a shift. See, I figure since you're not going to see us for a couple weeks, this is going to be great because you can make all kinds of things in the next 2 weeks using this tangle. I mean, what a deal, right?
Mhm.
I can tell you're not impressed.
No.
I actually like it because it seems like no matter how you draw your lines, you can't mess it up.
Exactly right, Mary. That is exactly what I found as well. Because once you get a shape, you can fix whatever it is you don't like. put your lines down and then you draw the second line and you go, oh, well, fix it, because you can add something in, you can move it around, you can make your curve line different. I mean, this one is really different. It's just a fascinating tangle to me. Every time I started looking at people who were drawing it on video, almost all of them start off drawing it circular. They go with this. And when I started searching FICOPS, I would say the predominant way people were doing it was the circle. You know, not his original. Although there's a woman who has a series of tangles, I forget her name, I'm sorry, I'll have to look it up, called seashore tangles, seashore tiles, you know, and she uses it this way in a kind of a shell
Yeah, it
effect.
does
Mm.
resemble.
So if you just extended it a little bit, you know, made it a little wider and a little longer out, you'd have a shell effect. And that's what she did. And she did it on a tan tile, and then she did white shading. So you can see how that would be seashore-ish.
Peggy,
Yes.
can you show me the spiral one again? I just
Yeah,
want to
it's
take
not
a
my best,
picture.
but yes.
Yeah, but and you draw the spiral, I'm assuming, first, and
Here's-
then
I've seen it done a number of different ways, Joanne. What I do with a spiral is I draw the spiral in pencil.
yeah, that makes
So I draw the spiral in pencil first, and then I don't ink the spiral in. I start with my lines. Because this is how you do a spiral with any tangle,
Mhm.
is you would do this. And then you go down to the third and you do this. See, and what's so fun is you get that wonderful effect, and it's all with just these 3 strokes.
I think it works best if you do those 2 strokes together.
Together.
Yeah.
And
On something like that, on something
In a
like,
spiral, I do,
yeah,
because otherwise I lose my place, to be perfectly
Yes.
honest.
yeah, makes sense.
And then as I go around, I make the decision, are they close enough that they create the spiral, or do I want to ink in the spiral that I drew in pencil? See, in
Mhm.
here, I didn't like, I inked it in, but I'm not sure I like it.
Yeah,
So that's where you, with any spiral, that's where you have to decide, are your tangles sufficient to give your spiral its effect, or do you need to actually find a way to ink in the spiral?
I really like that.
I haven't done spirals in a while. I had to admit, when I started playing with it in a spiral, I went, ooh, I haven't done spirals in a while. I may need to go
Yeah,
back
they're
to doing
tricky.
my spirals here. But anyway, that's how I did it, Joanne, for what it's
Thank
worth.
you. Thank you, thank you.
Okay, are you ready? I know I'm
No.
taking up all the time teaching and not doing a tile.
Mhm.
Bear with me. I think you'll think it's worth it in the end. And it'll give you something to work on. All right, are you ready?
Yes.
Ready.
So there's a woman named Teresa Fiebler. She's, I don't know if that's how you say that. She's German. And she took and she said, let's go further with this guy. And she created a tangle called Phylloxy.
Ooh.
Okay. And I got into Phylloxy and I couldn't stop myself. You can tell because I did this one here, okay? But I'm going to show you the basic Phylloxy. And it's probably best if you watch first and then try. Is that okay?
Yep.
Now you don't have to do phylloxy. Phycops is fine. It's lovely. It has its stuff. But when I saw her phylloxy, I thought, oh yeah, she's got something going on. So what you're going to do first is you're going to draw those same curved lines. You're looking to get 5 of them. And what's interesting to me is 5 is a pretty easy number to come up with freehand and not feel like you screwed up. Do you know what I'm saying? It's pretty good. Okay. But she starts from here. It's a whole different kettle of fish. All right. So what Teresa does, I will put the link underneath this video on the website, because she has a page where she takes a gigantic piece of paper and a marker and draws this tangle. And it's just fascinating. So I'm going to put it up so you can see it. She starts back at her center and she does this. Okay. Then she does a second. And then the third one, she starts it along this line and then ends there. Okay, that's it. It's just petals, our regular petals. Well, now that she's got this, what she does, I'm going to go up a little bit here. What she does is then she comes up, she comes around, and she goes all the way down. So she follows the curve. Okay. She does the same thing here. And she goes under and follows the curve. Okay. Then she does the line and then she comes over for the little guy. What I call the little guy. And I have room for yet another line there.
Cool.
Okay.
Very cool.
All right. I'm going to keep going. All right. I promise you it's not. Anyway, don't promise anything. Okay. So I'm going to go like this, and then I'm going to come down and around. So I'm following the curve. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to follow that curve. And then the last one, whoops, I kind of went off there, sorry. Okay.
Yes.
Now I do this one.
Can you push it up a little, Peggy?
Oh, sure. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Because I'm using this big book and so it. Thank you. And this little guy, I'm not going to have anywhere for him. Okay. Doesn't matter. Now I go back to that first one I did. I'm going to come around and I'm going to come around. So now I have phylloxy. Okay, so big whoop, right? But when there's 2 things I can show you. It depends on what you want. Do you see how she takes and puts in circles, orbs here, okay? But she takes that whole loop and goes underneath. Same thing here, and she goes underneath. I had to watch this because I couldn't figure out why it mattered. Why do you care that you're coming? Well, then when she started to embellish, I said, oh, okay. I get how you've got this kind of thing going on. So if I wanted to do that, now she also does this. Do you want to know how to do this? The dark with the
With the highlight.
Yeah.
uh-huh.
I think we pretty much, we've done that.
Yeah, what she does is she takes this line, she comes out, and then she does this,
Oh, we
okay?
haven't done that. Yeah.
But she crosses a line, which is a naughty in Zentangle, right? Naughty, don't cross the line. So she says, okay, I didn't really do it. And then she just inks it in. So you get this amazing overlay
Yeah.
of this really dark, dramatic piece, but it was totally separate from the original Phloxy.
Oh my.
Wow. That's neat.
Isn't it cool?
Yes.
I mean, I think it's cool, obviously, or I wouldn't put you through this, but so you don't need this. Your regular old Phloxy is fine. So you got your 5, and you just go from there. Now, let me see where my other samples are. Okay, hang on. Oh, here we go. So this was my first Phloxy tile.
Oh my God.
Nice.
All I did was this, that same thing I just did, right?
Mm.
And then these are 2 other tangles I can show you. But it's the same thing. It's exactly the same. I didn't do, the only thing I didn't do here is I didn't do this because I didn't get it. You see what I mean? I
Oh,
didn't
yeah, yeah.
understand until I
Yes.
went back and watched her again. I
Yeah.
didn't get that basically she was bringing the whole thing around into whatever space you happen to have. And that's when I drew this one and I went, aha, I see what we're doing now. Then, hang on. I told you I did too many. Then what she does is, well, don't do
Ooh.
5, do 3, and do 2. So all I did, the only thing that's different about this is there's 1, 2, 3 curved lines, and then everything else goes from there. So there's going to be more, what does she call them? She calls them stems. Let me look it up here. Because she has a just, okay, she calls the curved lines that you draw out, she calls those wings. And then what we call the petal shapes, she calls ribs. I thought it was fascinating. Has to be a translation issue because her site's in German, and so Google translates it. So you never know for sure.
Yeah.
But she says the more wings, the fewer wings, the more ribs.
Uh-huh. Makes sense.
So if you've got 3 wings, okay, then you're going to do more ribs because you'll need more to fill the space, right?
Mm-hmm.
This time I'm going to come, whoops, I screwed up. Sorry, I didn't see where I was going. I'm going to come around. So the more, and then here I didn't draw my wings very well, but she would just keep going. And then here you just bring them around. That's not my best. But if you look at this one, That's better. But it's just 3 wings. This one is 2.
Hmm.
Phylloxy. So let's try a phylloxy. What do you think?
Definitely.
Sure.
Or if you don't want to try a phylloxy, try a phycops in a circle or in a different shape. Pick a tile and put it on there and see what you get. Do you want to know about these other 2 tangles?
Yes.
Quick.
I do too. Oh, yeah.
I found somebody called Angie Gittles, and she has developed a series of tangles that are Southwest pottery inspired. I found her through somebody, you know how that works. And next time I teach, I'm going to do a mandala type tile, and we're going to use some of these. They're so cool. But here is her lazy leaf.
Isn't that neat?
Isn't it fun? I thought it was just fun. And she inks it in and then just leaves a sparkle in the top so that you can, and that's what I was playing with here. Her lazy leaf.
Hmm.
I thought it was a little much for that tile, but, and then here's her pharaoh. That's the other
Ooh.
one that I
Goodness.
did, which is this. I'm always looking for little things that'll accent
Yeah.
a tangle, so that's how I ended up with these 2.
Hmm.
They're pretty straightforward. They're not like, there's not a lot of teaching involved. I mean, lazy leaf is basically your basic fescue. And then you just come down a little bit from it and bring it down in. It's that straightforward.
Hmm.
I have a tendency to do a little embellish up here because that's the way my curved lines always end up. She doesn't do that as much. She's pretty straight with hers. And this is just a triangle on the end of a curly line. And I liked her embellishment here with the 3 dots.
Mhm.
So that's what this is.
Okay. Whew.
This is, okay, did I overwhelm you guys?
Just trying to copy the tangle.
Do you want me to do another phylloxy and you can
Yes.
watch? Okay,
Yeah.
okay, I'm good. I'm good. All right, I'm gonna do the standard 5 wings, as she calls them. Okay. You're going for 5 wings is her kind of basic step out. She starts back down in the center. I've seen people do this both
Goes all
directions.
the way to the edge.
It does, all the way to the end.
Oh, I screwed up on that.
That's all right. This is the first
And then
rib. Okay, see, I can't remember what she calls it because it doesn't seem right to me. Okay, so that's the first section. And because you don't have anything here, she doesn't have you bring this one all the way over because she wouldn't know where to stop. So the first section that you do, you just stop at the top. The second one, you bring it all the way over. Whoops, I didn't do that exactly right, but you get my drift. because you know where you're stopping.
Mm.
Okay. It's fun to watch her do this, by the way. I will make sure that I put the link. All right, you see, that's the second. Okay, now I'm going to this one. And because I have a stopping point, I can come all the way over. I keep short shrifting my lines here. And now I know where I'm stopping. So now I'm just going to extend that line and extend that line. And there's phylloxy. That's a big phylloxy.
Peggy, can you do that sparkle thing on that one?
Yes, ma'am, I can. So what she does is, it took me, yeah. So the original line you drew, okay? That's the one where you're coming out and you're gonna, let me make sure I'm doing this right now, 'cause I had to go over it 4 times, so. Come on, baby. Yeah. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna come around and down, and then you're just gonna go right back up and do a tethered aura. And you can do it as wide as you want. I had some of mine that I thought were too skinny, so I just pushed them out, you know, because you're there. And all she does is this line that she's crossed, that's where she puts the sparkle. So let me do this one. I'll do it again. So here, okay, this would be the first line, or the original wing, as she calls them. You're going to come around, and then you're going to do a tethered aura back down. And then here is where you're going to do your sparkle. Now that one's a little loopy, but who cares? I mean, the reality is, I guess it's as loopy as you want it to be. So if I keep going with that, I'm going to get out my other pen and fill it in, because otherwise it'll take me too long. Again, I'm going to go here. I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to do a tethered aura. And then here is where the sparkle will go. When I saw this embellishment on her site, I went, oh, now that is cool. Because it gives so much drama, but it feels, I don't know. Consistent with the rest of the tangle. Let me get my.
Well, I love that it's, you know, right where that sparkle goes.
Yeah, yeah, you don't have to worry, do you?
Yeah.
I realized this is a lot of teaching a tangle as opposed to just doing a tile. But one of the tiles that I saw done used phylloxy in the center and then used circular phycops around it. So phylloxy, which is the one that's much more wings and more ribs, and phycops is a little more sedate. So they added a couple phycops around the phylloxy. And it was really cool. It looked really good. I just knew I couldn't teach you both of these adaptations and do a whole tile. I didn't want you to get lost. Did you still get lost or did it help? So this is phylloxy, just like this, just like I just did. And then I just embellished from it. So it's a tile. It's just the whole tile is this, really.
Mhm.
I mean, this is kind of the deal. But I think it helps. Well, obviously I do, or I wouldn't have taught it this way, but I think it helps if you understand phycops first.
Definitely.
Is there anything else you want me to do over, do again, do something?
Do
Do you want me to never do a class like this again?
you do the basic phycops again?
You betcha.
I just
can
can't-
indeed.
I just cannot seem to make mine look like yours do.
Yeah.
Well,
Really a tough one.
mine are kind of all over the map there. I'm not sure any two of mine look the same.
It's not the phycops are okay. It's the phylloxy that I can't get it.
Oh, it's the phylloxy you want me to do, Gwen?
I can't get the phylloxy. I just can't get.
Okay,
Mine does
Okay.
not look like yours. I don't know why.
okay,
Follow
okay,
your directions exactly, but it just doesn't look like it.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. Well, okay, so you start with the 5 wings, right?
Right.
I don't want that pen. Hold on a second. Yep. Okay, so if I go off the screen, let me know because I'm using the book. So sometimes it pushes me, all right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I got my 5 wings. So I'm going to start with this guy. Okay. I
Mhm.
start from my center.
Right.
And what you're doing, no matter what she calls it, you're really doing petals, Gwen, if you think about it.
Right.
You're just coming up and you're doing a petal.
Right.
Now I went too far, so I just extended my wing. I couldn't, it's hard on a book. I should have used a damn piece of paper, obviously, but okay. Now I'm going to do a second wing and I need to come down just a little bit.
Right.
But you'll notice they're not exactly the same size, etc. Then she uses this wing as the takeoff point for the third petal. Does that help?
Yes.
Okay, so now I'm going to do my next section. And this time, because I have a stopping point, I'm going to go up and I'm going to go all the way around so that I stop where I ended that petal. I'm going to do the same thing with the next petal, but obviously I'm going to go behind. Okay. And then the third one, I'm going to use this as my jumping off point, and I'm going to go behind and I'm going to go there. So in essence, you're saying, oh, okay, if I was going all the way, that's what this curved line would do. Okay, I'm going to go to the next section. I'm going to go like that. Shit, I didn't get to the top of my line. That's my fault. And then the next petal or rib or whatever the hell, I'm going to go underneath, but it's like I was going all the way around. And then this one, I'm going to jump off from this line. And I don't have any more, so I'm not going to put that line in. Okay. So I'm going to go up like this, over. I'm going to go up, follow around. I'm going to use this as a jumping off point. I'm going to do that last line. Okay, I'm going to do my fifth section. This is how I would come around if this wasn't there. I'm going to use this for my jumping off point, and I'm going to do that. Now I'm back to my first one, and now I have a place to stop. So I'm going to come around, and I'm going to come around. And there she is. You know, one of the embellishments that she does that I think is really kind of fun. Yeah, I don't think I can do that. I won't do that. Did that help, Gwen?
It's getting better, but my mine still doesn't look like yours.
Well,
What-
it doesn't need to. It needs to look like how you like it.
Well,
I mean, if you look at hers, okay, let me just show you. So she has, this is her step out. Let me turn this light off. Okay, so the 5, and I'm going to put this link so you can look at her stuff. Okay, and then she does that.
Right.
She does the 3, right? And then when she does the next one, she comes all the way around and comes around and comes around. Okay, and then she does that everywhere. And then she comes around on the last one.
Right.
But what's fun, here's an example of her 2 and her 3. And then here's more. And then here's an example which I thought was quite intriguing. I've not tried this yet, where she kind of squares them off. I don't even want to think about that one. I
Oh
decided
my.
I could only take so many variations. But she's got it. She walks you through it. So I will make sure this is also out so that you can watch her with her big marker and her huge piece of paper. But see her 2, and then she just frames it. I mean, it's, yeah. It gives you even more inspiration. Let's put it that way. Do you want me to do it once more, Gwen?
No,
Okay.
I'm following you exactly, but it's just not looking right.
Well, you just have to play with it till it looks like you want it to look.
Yeah.
You know, and typically it's about how big or small the petals or the ribs are. I mean, here's me trying the 2. Okay, here's me trying the 3. They all look different. I don't know what the heck I was doing there. Something weird. I don't know. All right, how you doing? How you feeling?
Mhm.
Okay.
You gonna murder me?
I really like the first one.
You really like the what, hun?
I really like the block
The Phycops?
tops. I love the round one, and well, all the leaf, they're great. I remember doing a Phycops leaf in a drawing with Hillary, and it was just great to do that.
Yep.
It's the same kind
Phycops
of thing. I like the Phycops. It's good.
Phycops is a good guy.
Mhm.
Having a hard time when the orb comes in that little extra section.
Yep.
Mm.
That I'm having a hard time with that. It doesn't, I don't have enough room for.
There you go. Yep. I get that. In fact, if you look here, that was my problem
Yeah,
because this is a smaller phylloxy, right?
yeah,
And so, and once I started getting the gist, I started making those curved lines a little different. So
I can
as I
see that.
started to understand, I would have done this so that it's a little more, so you have more, it's more accented, accentuated, whatever the right word is. But you're right, you need the room for it.
Yeah, yeah,
But that's why here, Joanne, I didn't do it. And it's fine. It's like it's not, none of this is a requirement. It's just another way of doing the tangle. And here, all I did is I inked it in. I didn't bring it around. And I kind of liked that too.
yeah. Well, and maybe a different tangle other than the orbs. Or
Yes.
just shading that
Yep.
particular petal
Yep.
or whatever the heck it is.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
You don't have to do, a lot of people just accent, like do an aura on the inside of each of the ribs.
Ah,
Like for instance, I've seen people do, well, that's not what I want. It's one of the ones.
yeah, but then you kind of lose the connection with the other section.
No, you never lose. No, you
I
mean
mean,
this down in
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Yes. Well, I could have done it differently,
Uh-huh, yeah,
which I didn't do,
right,
but there would have been no problem coming down here.
just like that, yeah.
Correct. But see, for me, how do I want to say this? I thought that was a neat effect, but
Uh-huh.
not a required effect.
Right, yeah, I just like the effect, so.
I gotcha. I
Mm.
understand. But the other thing I learned with this, and it's the same thing with FICOPS, it really, what makes it is when you shade it.
Yeah, which I haven't done.
Because that's where you start to differentiate. Like here, okay, I gotta find my torch here. Because you start to differentiate your different sections by
Yeah.
how you shade them. See, in here, I didn't bring it all the way around.
Hmm.
Because I hadn't gotten it yet. And so I just shaded it. You know, you can also, the orbs can also get shaded down the middle, but I kind of like them shaded this way. So it gives you the turnaround, the movement
Yeah.
kind of illusion.
I get that.
And I didn't do the follow through. And it's still cool looking.
Sure.
You know, one of the things that I've come to understand in teaching Zentangle is that sometimes it's nice to get carried away with something that inspires me. But I know that if it's not laid out in a way that gives you clear direction, it can be frustrating. So
Yes.
if there's anything else I can do to be helpful with that, just let me know. And again, I will put her links and the other links to people that do. Boy, that does look good shaded, doesn't it?
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can't tell on the camera. See, there's nothing wrong with plain old phlox or phyc, the other one. All right. Does anybody want to show anything?
Oh, God.
I will.
You never know. I don't make assumptions. All
I
right,
will.
let me,
Let me,
okay, I'm stopping sharing. Who said I would?
Joanne,
All right, Joanne, here you go.
I've got my.
Oh,
Great,
oh,
Joanne.
totally got it. That's beautiful.
That is awesome. You did
Awesome.
great. It comes around.
Ah, beautiful.
Kind
It
of,
gives you that impression, absolutely.
yeah,
Good.
It's
as much as
awesome.
I want, but yeah.
Awesome.
I don't know if
I
I
know,
didn't get very far with my other guys. They're just,
okay, hang on.
sketches. I haven't done any shading on
Good
these guys
job.
other than
Beautiful.
the ones.
Yep.
This is tough.
I agree. I had a very hard time. It's a mental thing
Yeah,
in terms of direction, and I struggled with it. But yeah,
but
understood.
Gwen, thanks for mentioning about the one that we did with Hillary, because when you said that, I remember that that page that I did, and I'm gonna look back for that. Yeah. That because we did a whole bunch of this in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you.
Okay. Does anybody else want to dying to show? You just
Um,
Dying
else?
and we're not showing.
It's all right.
I'll
Anybody
show
else?
what
Just
I have so far.
okay. Cool beans. They just want to shoot me. They don't want.
Oh,
Lovely. lovely.
Awesome.
I can't.
Nice.
What's going
There we
There
go.
it
We
is.
got it.
That's better. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So I've got the phylloxy in front of the spiral. So I haven't finished the phycops
Yeah.
because it's going to go behind.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, that looks so neat though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, Mimi, you
Okay.
want to show?
Yeah, I'll show.
Okay, Mary, hang on.
It's not
It's
very
fine.
important.
It's always important.
Oh,
It
that's
looks
beautiful.
great.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, you got to the shading and everything.
Oh, I like this
Yeah.
square.
The shading helped.
Wow.
Absolutely. It
But
does.
I had a hard time with this one. I've got to work on it some more.
You had a
Okay.
hard time with it. It looks pretty good to me.
Thank you.
I know. I was worried on this one that I might be pushing you too far here.
These will be fun to play with for the next 2 weeks.
Well, I was hoping that would be true and you wouldn't be killing me in absentia.
Are you going on vacation for 2 weeks?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, good for you.
great.
Actually, it's both Peggy and I together.
Oh.
So there'll be a lot of gin and tonics and margaritas and
A lot of that.
Zen-
Excellent.
I was talking to a friend of mine and I said, well, my travel anxiety has kicked in. And she said, well, I'm a seasoned traveler. And she is. I mean, she's been to Nepal and all these places. Southeast Asia. I said, yes, you are. What's your advice? And she says, when you feel anxious, drink.
Excellent.
And I said, okay, I can follow that advice. Mimi, are you trying to unmute? There you go.
Yeah. When do we start back then?
3, 4, 5. It's the 6th, Friday the 6th. Is that what it is? Or the 6th? Yes, I think.
And how much longer will the session then go on for?
Oh, 20 or 30 million years. Hang on a second. Let me look that up. I have it on the website, but I can't remember it. So
That's all right, Peggy. We'll look it up. Just I
no,
got
it's
to
right here. I got it. Through March. So we come back on March 6th and we go through March, through the 27th. And that's our 10 weeks of classes.
Have a wonderful vacation.
Yes.
Thanks.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oops.
Thank you.
All right. Have fun. I have to go to work.
Understood. Well,
Have a
okay.
good day. So the 20,
Nobody else volunteered to show, so I'm figuring this is it. So, all righty.
the 27th of March is the last class again?
Yes, in this session. Yes, ma'am.
Okie dokie.
So mid-March, I'll have the new reg form up.
Okay. Excellent. Thank you. Enjoy your vacation. Have a wonderful time.
On the 6th of March, I will be on vacation.
Well, good. Enjoy yours.
Key West.
Awesome.
Oh, Key West. Lovely. I've never been. I need to do that.
Pep doesn't like to take me on vacations because I end up in the hospital.
Oh, no.
Cut that out.
Too many times.
Well, we'll hope that's not the case. How's
Let's hope
that?
it's good this time.
All right, guys.
All right, thanks, Peggy. This was fun.
All right, take care. Good
Have a
luck.
great time in
Bye.
Mexico.
Thank you.
Thank you. Enjoy.
All right, thank you.
Susan Michelson, can you stay on just a quick moment?
Oh,
Already gone.
I
That's
think
all right.
we
I'll
lost
contact her. That's all right. I'll get her. This really was super fun today.
I'm glad.
And it gives you the freedom to play around.
Well, that was the hope. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on.